Be honest. You think people will mess with a African American up there? What do you mean by mess with you guys? You talking about like pick on you, or you talking about link up with you? There's a my bad, because I don't mess with could be interpreted in two different ways. Like, you worry about someone for one, let me break something down for y'all real quick so y'all get a clear understanding. You feel me? There once was this war called the Vietnam War, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all heard about it. Might have some family members or people that were a part of it, seen movies about it or whatever, right? A lot of the propaganda that's pushed in American media, news, social media, movies, whatever, they paint a picture of the Vietnamese people hating Americans, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all think that, like, we're savages over here. If you're American, we ain't fucking with you. But what you guys gotta understand is, when that war happened, it happened between North Vietnam and South Vietnam. Just imagine California, Northern California and Southern California, and that shit being cut in half at Central California. So there was a war between the North Vietnamese and the South Vietnamese, right? And during that war, communism was spreading. North Vietnam was communist, South Vietnam wasn't. North Vietnam was trying to turn the whole entire country of Vietnam into a communist state. And at that time, communism was spreading with China, with Russia and all that shit, Cuba. So the U.S. was trying to curb the rise of communism or the spread of communism. And so when South Vietnam and North Vietnam went to war, the U.S. joined the war effort, and they backed up the South Vietnamese army against the North Vietnamese communists during that war, right? So simply put, I'm from South Vietnam, right? So the Americans came through to my part of the country where I'm currently residing, and they helped my people in the war effort against the North. So why the fuck would my people, who y'all came to help, who y'all came alongside of during the war effort, who y'all shed blood, lost lives and limbs over as well, be over here trying to fuck with you when you come over here to visit or to vacation or to live abroad? If anything, my people roll out the red carpet for y'all because you guys chose to come help us during the war effort. My people love Americans, fam, especially those from the South. Now, of course, the U.S. backed out of that war, and of course, Vietnam is now a communist state, right? But my people from the North don't hold no grudges against y'all because of the war. Now, don't get it twisted. They have every right to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fucking bullshit was done during the war. Agent Orange, napalm bombs, My Lai massacre. They killed whole entire villages. They were killing people and taking ears and wearing them around their necks like fucking necklaces, and women and children were being massacred. All kind of crazy shit happened, fam. There's shit that's still going on today that people are still being affected by, as far as Agent Orange seeping into the soil. You know what I'm saying? So they have a lot of reasons to hold grudges, right? But one thing I can say about my people, and I'm not just trying to be biased, my people are gangsters, fam. Through and through. They are motherfucking gangsters. So their whole get down is this: we went to war, we handled our business, we did what we had to do. The war is over. We let bygones be bygones. We don't hold grudges. We ain't got no time for grudges. You feel me? It happened. We just men. We just did what we had to do. Because at the end of the day, every true soldier wishes for peace. There ain't no true soldier, no true warrior wants to stay at war. That shit, you're not a real soldier, or you're not a real warrior if you want to stay at war. Every true soldier wishes for peace, but will go to war if need be. You know what I'm saying? So over here in Vietnam, Americans get treated good, fam. You guys get treated with the utmost respect and the utmost love, because for one, those of us from the South are indebted to y'all. Y'all didn't have to come over here to help us. Y'all didn't have to come over here and lose your lives. Y'all didn't have to come over here and lose limbs. Y'all didn't have to come over here and suffer from PTSD for the rest of your life, or return to the States and unalive yourself because of what you went through. You feel me? But you guys chose to come over here and help us, right? Yeah, Vietnam is now a communist country, but don't even get that twisted, because a lot of people think they hear the word communist and they automatically assume it's bad, because that's what they were taught. Now I'm here to tell you to rethink all your teachings, because if you're taught only something one way, then you're just gonna look at it from one angle. But if you look at something from many different points of views, you'll come to see that there's good and bad in everything, just like there's good and bad in capitalism. Communism, capitalism. You are currently living in a capitalist state. The United States is a capitalist state. And look what's going on over there. You're living paycheck to paycheck. We got a homeless crisis. We got a prison overcrowding crisis. We got a drug crisis. Got a fucked up welfare system. A fucked up school system. The rich are getting richer while the poor are getting poorer. They're throwing away kids. Locking kids away with football numbers, with life sentences. All kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Kids are going to school. Shoot them up, bang, bang. All kind of crazy shit going on over there, right? And you say, oh, communism is bad because that's what you were taught. Communism is bad because that's all you know from what your senses were allowed to pick up, because they control the media. You live in a country where whoever controls the media, that's what's going to control your insight, your knowledge. That's how you're going to fucking take things in, right? And so communism, on the other hand, look at how it is over here. If you want to fucking sell food on the streets, you want to be a street vendor, you don't got to get a license. You don't got to get a food handler's license. You don't got to pay no taxes. You got the heart to hustle. You got the fucking willingness to hustle. Go out there and fucking hustle. You know what I'm saying? The cost of living over here is cheaper. It's just like a lot of different dynamics where when you come to see it, you're like, you know what? This shit actually ain't bad. You feel me? It actually ain't bad. It allows people to fucking live without taxation. You know what I'm saying? Over there in America, you want to be a street vendor, you got to get a street vendor's license. You got to get a food handler's license. All the food that you buy to sell food is taxed. Every time you work, your check is taxed. You got to pay fucking car insurance. You got to build up your credit. You want to drive and fucking get on a fucking highway, you got to pay a toll. You want to go park your car in the street, you got to pay a fucking to even park your fucking car. You want to go use a restroom at Burger King, you got to put a quarter in the motherfucking door to use a restroom. Like, everything is money driven, and they're gonna slowly eat away at your pockets however they can, fam. You feel me? Over here it's different. Over here it's more like everybody's in the same struggle, and if I can help my neighbor, I will. Fam, you gotta use a restroom at my restaurant, I'm not gonna charge you a quarter to go use the fucking restroom, gang. Burger King is a multi-million-dollar fucking industry, right? And they're charging you a quarter to use their fucking restroom. Oh, fuck! You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, you want to park your car anywhere in the street, you can park your car. It's the fucking street. Nobody owns the street. And you want to park your car, park your fucking car. In the US, nah, you want to park your car, you gotta pay. You gotta pay the toll. You gotta pay the motherfucking shit that you put the coins and get the app to pay for that shit. You feel what I'm saying? So you living in that world and you're living in that society underneath that government, and that's all you know. It's become a meter. There you go. It's become normal to you. You don't know nothing else. So you just go with it because everybody else is going with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing that shit, so you do it too. You don't question it. You don't fucking sit there and argue with it. You just go with it. But until you experience shit from both sides, like I have, you come to see, like, you know what? That's some bullshit over there. I like it over here. Think about it. Over here, right? When you drive, there's hardly any street lights, right? Hardly any red, white, and green lights, right? You could drive against traffic over here, fam. You could make a left turn or right turn. You don't even got a signal. You feel what I'm saying? There's hardly any stop signs. You don't even have to stop at a stop sign. You feel what I'm saying? You could drive up on a sidewalk with your motorcycle if you want to. There's really no street laws and regulations, rules and regulations. You do what the fuck you want to do, and guess what? There's less fucking car accidents over here. There's nobody's getting pulled over here. There ain't a million cops patrolling the streets. If you think about it, in America, they got all these street signs, stop signs, red light, yellow light, green light. They got all these traffic laws. You got to signal. You got to do this and that. It's controlled, right? And it's so fucking controlled, but they still have a million accidents in America. Every day, there's somebody getting in a car accident. Several people in car accident every motherfucking day throughout the whole nation, right? Over here, I've been in Vietnam. You would think the traffic and the way that the driving over here is crazy. Man, it's controlled chaos, fam, and nobody's crashing into each other. But the reason why, you would think that in America it'd be less accidents, right? But in actuality, all that shit is all fucking money driven. They want to control the traffic laws to make money off of you. If you make a right turn without signaling, money. If you don't stop at a stop sign, money. If you run a red light, money. You feel what I'm saying? If you're driving beyond the motherfucking speed limit, money. They're just waiting to pick you off, and guess how much money they're making every day? Millions. And then you gotta pay toll fees. Then you gotta pay car insurance. Then you gotta pay to put stickers and tags on your car. And everything is money, money, money. And then you're just sitting there getting dicked, basically, and you're just like, this is how it is. I gotta fucking buy this tag to put on my fucking license plate. I gotta buy this fucking car insurance just in case I get into a fucking car accident. But I might live and die and never get in one car accident my whole life. And as a result, I've been paying $100, $200, $300 a month on car insurance for fucking years, for decades, and never ever once got in a car accident. So what the fuck is that about? You know what I'm saying? You giving away hundreds of dollars every month, which accumulates into thousands of dollars every year for decades of your life. Some of y'all never even get in a car accident. For what? Just in case you do? Over here, fam, man, ain't no insurance, fam. Ain't no motherfucking, I don't even got no license. I just be smashing in my shit. You feel me? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Why? Because they're not tripping on you like that over here. You hardly see the police over here. They don't be patrolling the streets like that. They're not out there to fucking catch your ass and put your talents into you and basically put you in a situation where you're borderline, right? You're borderline either gonna go homeless or you're borderline gonna go bust you a lick and fuck around and catch you a case and then go fill up their prisons. You feel me? So think about that shit. If you think about it, just think about it like this. America has the most people incarcerated than any other country. That's a fact. There are 2.5 million people incarcerated in the United States, right? More than any other country. So they have to fill up these prisons. And I don't own no prison. Don't nobody that I know own a prison. Don't nobody that I rub elbows with, socialize with. Nobody in my circle owns a prison. There's these motherfuckers that are rich. These upper echelon ass motherfuckers, Illuminati ass motherfuckers, 1%er ass motherfuckers that own that shit, right? And then you think about it, you gotta really think of how the layers of this shit works, right? Now these motherfuckers own prisons. And in order to fill up these prisons, people gotta commit crimes, right? But on the other sense, they got you over here living paycheck to paycheck, right? You fucking busting your ass. Some of y'all working 2 jobs. Some of y'all even working 3 jobs and barely getting by, right? At the end of the month, after you get done paying your rent, after you get done paying your car note, after you get done paying your car insurance, after you get done paying your credit card bills, your phone bills, buying your groceries, and whatever other bills you may have, your Netflix, your motherfucking whatever bills, right? You're gonna have barely enough to fucking either save or to spend at the end of the month, right? And if something were to happen, say for instance, after you paid all your bills and you only got like $500 left to yourself, if that, maybe $300 to yourself, if that, something happens, something bad happens, your house catch on fire, Your daughter get in a car accident. Now she in the hospital. Your son jumped off a trampoline, broke his leg. Now you got a medical bill, right? All of a sudden you got this expense that you have to cover, this bill that you have to cover. Now that bill that you have to cover is gonna put you in a position where you're either gonna fucking take out a loan, you're gonna fucking be on the verge of homelessness, or you're gonna go and, like Tupac said, I never wanted to be a thug. You feel me? I never wanted to be a thug. They made me into a thug. Meaning that society that you grow up in, the government that you're now existing under, they put you in a position where before I let my family go homeless, before I let my family starve, I'm gonna grab my motherfucking pole and I'm gonna up that bitch. I'm gonna go and stick it in somebody's face and I'm gonna take a penitentiary chance, right? I didn't want to do this, but if I lived in a society where the welfare was right, where the educational system was right, where the government gave a fuck about me, where they weren't trying to tax everything, then I wouldn't have to be in this position. So the criminal ain't me. The criminal is the government, and I'm just a byproduct of the government's actions. You get what I'm saying? But the government is so good at shining a light on the gangsters and on the thugs and on the criminals. But in actuality, you gotta think deeper and understand what is the root cause. What created that criminal or that thug or that gangster or that robber? You feel me? And at the same time, they put you in a position where you don't want to be a thug, but you're going to fuck around and have to be a thug, and you have to take a penitentiary chance. And if you take that penitentiary chance, it's 50-50. And if you get caught, guess what happens? You go fill up their prisons that they own. So either all the way around, it's a setup. And that's what we call the trap. I don't give a fuck if you fucking white and you're living in the suburbs, you're still in the trap, gang. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if I'm not trying to say, oh, this is a people or minority problem. No, this is an American 99%er problem. The only people that don't have to deal with this problem is the 1%ers. The only people that don't have to deal with this problem is the motherfuckers that don't even pay taxes. They make so much money that they don't even pay taxes, gang. And we're one of those broke as fuck and we're paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that I'm trying to single you out because you're white. No, because there's hella white people that are dealing with the same issue that their fucking neighbors are dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You are under the same fucking government. You're dealing with the same shit. You're in the same fucking struggle, fam. You feel what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, people ask me all the time, what are you doing in Vietnam? Why would you go over there? Why are you living over there? And the reason why people got shit fucked up is because the propaganda, the media hype, and the picture that they painted about my country, and the picture that they painted about a million other countries, where they got you believing you're worse off living abroad than you are living in the States. But the fact of the matter is, or my facts, because my truth is my truth and my truth is valid, but it might not be a shared truth. You might not feel what I'm saying, right? But my truth is, you're better off living abroad than you are living in the States. They have brainwashed you guys so deeply into believing that America is a place to be. They brainwash you so deeply into believing that you come to America and you chase the big American dream, everything will work out and everything will be fine. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people that migrated and immigrated to the United States were better off staying in their country. You feel me? They were better off staying in their country because the cost of living, the welfare system, the medical system, the educational system was way better than the States. But the United States and its government and the rich, the 1%ers, the Illuminati, the upper echelon people, they're so good at controlling the media. They got millions and billions of dollars to do so. So think about it. If you have millions and billions of dollars at your disposal and you're going to take this money to control the masses, you could do it. You could take your money, your millions and billions of dollars, and you could hire people, professors, psychiatrists, scientists, theologians. You could hire anybody. You could hire a whole army of people to break the masses down on a scientific level. You could hire a gang of people to put people under a microscope and understand what works and what doesn't work as far as subliminally mind fucking people through the propaganda that they push. They know how the human psyche works. They know how the human brain functions, right? They got people that are educated in that fact, and they got millions of dollars to spend on that. So they know how to keep you guys fucked and keep you guys like robots and keep you guys stuck. You know what I'm saying? To where you're thinking you're chasing is a big American dream, but in actuality it's a big American nightmare. I'm trying to tell you, because it's like this. What's the big American dream? A house, a car, a white picket fence, a wife, a son, a daughter, a dog, and a cat. They're telling you that, right? They're like, that's what everybody thinks that is, right? And then one day Danny comes along and Danny tells you, fuck that big American dream, gang. You tripping. You know what I'm saying? Life could be way better if you ski skirt and go live abroad. But then you're like, you're absolutely right, Danny. But how do I convince my wife now that we need to leave? How do I convince my kids who are in gymnastics and taekwondo and motherfucking soccer to let go of their family, let go of their friends and all that they ever known and go live in a foreign country, right? What do I do about this house? What do I do about this car? How do I get rid of all these material things that I accumulated over the years? My dog, my cat, I just let them go? You feel what I'm saying? So everything that you thought was capturing a big American dream actually became a ball and chain. You feel me? Because right now, if you're sitting there right now in your house and I'm speaking to you and I'm telling you, let's go live abroad, break it down, you're gonna be like, okay, now I gotta convince my wife and my husband to go live abroad. I gotta convince my kids to go live abroad. I gotta explain to all my family members that live in the States who also came to chase the big American dream that I'm leaving them to go live abroad. Then I got this house I gotta get rid of. Then I got these big screen TVs and all this clothes and all this furniture and motherfucking purses and shoes and everything that I accumulated over the years that I gotta figure out what to do with that. I got this car. I got, you know what I mean? And by the time you get done thinking of how you're gonna get rid of all this shit to go live abroad, you're gonna be overwhelmed. Or your wife or your husband's not gonna agree with you. Or your kid's gonna be like, fuck that. I don't wanna leave my friends. It's gonna be issues, right? And as a result, you can get overwhelmed and you can say, you know what? I'm just gonna stay. Right? Like Krabs while it's hot said, I can't leave my dog. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole time you're over here chasing this big American dream, you don't realize the more you accumulate, the more you get closer to catching this so-called dream, is actually capturing a nightmare. Because when it comes time to bounce, rock, roller skate, it's not going to be as easy as you think, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. I'll tell you that much. It's not impossible. But for a lot of people at this day and age, to take that leap of faith and to do that shit, it becomes overwhelming. You feel me? It becomes overwhelming to the point where you're like, fuck it. I'd rather just stay here and not think about that shit. They have to decide, how do I go about this? How do I do this? How do I do that? And that's why a lot of people get stuck. You feel me? That's why a lot of people don't leave. That's why a lot of people stay there. You feel me? And can you make this a live video? This is live. I am live right now. And then it comes down to like this, right? This is how cold they are. Say for instance, 10 million people see this live, and 10 million people say, this motherfucker Danny's right. And 10 million of y'all, 100 million, 500 million of y'all decide to leave the United States right now. They ain't tripping. Why? Because they'll just let 500 million more people into the country. You feel me? No, she is saying making a live into a video. Oh, later on, I'll try to download this live, depending on how long it is. Matter of fact, I should end this motherfucker and restart it, because if the live is too long, and I've been going live for a while now, it's harder for me to repost it. So let me end this live and come back.